Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. First, quick announcement. I'm going to be out of town for the rest of the week on a business trip, so this is going to be the last episode I upload this week. But when I get back this weekend, I will get right back into it, and hopefully I can have a new episode out by Saturday or Sunday, Monday in the worst case. So appreciate your patience while you wait for me to get back. I've updated my celebration light. We've hit 700 subscribers, so thanks to everybody who's joined the club. Glad to have you along. I have a different type of timer this time. It's just a belt with an iron plate on it, going around in circles. So I set these both up to read contents and hold. So when the iron plate goes through that section of belt, it sends an iron plate signal, and then I have two combinators, one connected to each of these sections. So this one, if anything is greater than 0, outputs a green, and this one, if anything is greater than 0, outputs a 1. And then on the light, I just set that to, if anything is greater than 0, turn on and use colors. So if you ever want to make a multicolor flashing light, that's one way that you can do it. There are other ways as well, but I just like playing around with this stuff. It's fun. Okay, so let's go back to the plastic area and start making some plastic. I've been crafting some chemical plants. We're going to need 20 chemical plants to make plastic for this base. So we'll go ahead and set all of them up. Before I get started, I did get a suggestion in the comments, which I'll get to here in a second. And the suggestion was on the connection between the solid fuel production and the oil depot, that we should put a control on this pump so that the oil from here goes first to the solid fuel production and then the excess goes to the depot. And I think that's a good idea. I also noticed that I need to upgrade all the modules over here. These are all level 1 modules. I'll do that later. Alright, so let's hook up a red wire from the tank to the pump. So that way we're going to read the tank contents. And we're going to tell this pump to turn on when crude oil is greater than 12,500. So that's half of a tank. So if this tank is at least half full, then it will send the excess oil to the oil depot. And if it has less than that, then it won't pump anything. So that way, this setup will always have oil available. And then the excess that we're pumping in from, from these oil wells will go to the oil depot to be used for plastics or anywhere else we need oil. Okay. And we may need to take oil elsewhere at some point. Actually, for example, we ought to take oil to the main base from here rather than taking it from oil 1 over here. And that means that we'll need to set up another station that can take oil out, which we haven't done yet. So far, this is only putting oil in, and then the outgoing oil is all going over here. So we'll need to update that at some point as well. But for now, I think we are good. Okay, so I finished connecting all the pipes over here after the last episode. You can see I also decided to pave it just because I have a lot of stone brick, and I thought it would be fun to use some of it to make this part of the base look nice. So again, as I mentioned last time, I have I have an offshore pump, one for each of these sections, just to make sure that we get plenty of water and don't have any throughput problems, trying to feed all four with the same pipe. And as well for the crude oil coming in, I have a separate pump and a separate pipeline for each of those sections. So I don't think we should have any issues with flow rates or anything like that. We are going to be pumping a lot of fluids in here. So I think by having a dedicated line for each one, we should avoid any throughput issues. The other thing that I did forget is that we need to make lubricant here as well. So again, I'm going to have to add that to my to-do list. We'll need to pull some heavy oil out to convert into lubricant. So I'll have to retrofit that in here in a future episode. Probably we'll do that once we get plastic up and running. We'll fix those things that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's get started with the plastic. So this is where plastic is going to load. So let's start by, first of all, turning that stuff off. Let's copy our RoboPort setup, which will go like this, or like that. Yeah, we'll do it like that. And we're going to need to get fuel here too. I do have the fuel train right there, so that won't be a problem. Okay, and we will actually, since we're going to be producing here and bringing it in from below, let's set up the loading of the boxes on this side. Let's see, and these are going to be requester chests. And we'll set these to request plastic. So if these stack in 100, that means 4,800 will fit in a box. So we'll limit that to 4,700 each. And that way, if the bots have a couple extra in the stack, they won't get stuck holding stuff that they don't have anywhere to place. Okay, and let's bring in some power. Yeah, okay, I guess that's fine. Okay, and then we'll put down the RoboPorts here. Can't decide how many tiles to go over. Okay. All right, now we're going to need some beacons, of course. So I'll just get started, and let's just set up a single. Actually, let me take some of these. Let's just set up a single production unit here to get started. All right. So in this case, we're going to need to leave room. We can't just put the machine right up against the beacons because we're going to need room to bring in a pipe. Okay, and I'm going to start with the first one lined up with that RoboPort. All right, now fortunately for plastic, we can use a single pipe. Now I'm going to have petroleum coming in on 2 pipes, so I think what I'd like to do is 2 rows of 10. Okay, and I'm going to need to offset these RoboPorts so that we can get 4 on each side. Okay, so we'll hook it up like that. We'll need a requester chest to bring in coal, and then we'll need a provider chest for the output, and I'm going to limit the provider to 1 stack. And then we can put more beacons on that side as well. Oh, and well, let's load up the modules first, and then we'll figure out how many inserters we need, or what type of inserters. I don't know if we necessarily need stack inserters. Okay, and then we can put a power pole like that, and we'll need another one on this side as well. But if I have that pipe running through like that, that could be a problem, because I need to power these beacons up. So maybe we can use, no, undergrounds aren't going to help because they're going to be too close together. All right, so how am I going to do power for that side? I don't want to space these out because that's going to require me to use more beacons and modules. All right, so let's duplicate this real quick. All right, and then that one could be a light. I think the only way I could do it is either by putting space in between each chemical plant. All right, well, here's what we'll do. I'm just gonna have to leave some more room here. We'll just have to do it like this. Okay, let me go grab some more beacons. I think 50 should probably be enough. All right. Well, I can finish that up later. Oh no, I can't put a light there, can I? Okay, well, let's see. So this is suggesting 170 coal in each chest. Okay, so crafting speed on these is 4.4375. And we have a 1 second crafting time. So let me get out my calculator. So 1 divided by 4.375 is 0.22. Or we could say, since it has a 1 second base speed, we can, and a crafting speed of 4.4375, we can say that we're going to get 4.4375 cycles per second, right? So then that means that we will need about 5 pieces of coal every second, which we can do with a fast inserter. And we're going to be taking out about 10 pieces a second of plastic, since there's 2 each cycle. So for that, I think we are going to need a stack inserter. So that should be fine like that. And then we can put a light right there. Or we could put the light on the other side. Let's put it on the other side, just so it's not so crowded. Okay, so that looks good. I should be able to just tile this. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, and that works pretty well with the alignment to the chests. This side is... Here we've got 2 chests to the right. So I think we can move this over by 1 tile. And it'll be centered along those roboports. Or, better yet, I'll just move the roboports over by 1 tile. There. Okay, so that's good. And then we just need to finish the beacons. Let's see here. And we need 1 more there. Yeah, and that's the last one. Okay, and then we'll copy that and put that right there. Okay, and one last thing. Why am I putting the chests here when they need to go there? I should flip this thing. I should flip this whole thing 180 degrees. That way the chests will be closer to the requesters. And as a matter of fact, it would be even better to have one of these on each side of the track. Now that I think of it. Okay. Was that right? Yeah, that looks... Yeah, either way. That looks good. Okay. That's better. Yeah, so I think what I'd like to do is move plastic and coal farther down, and then I'll put one of these on each side of those tracks. All right, so now let's... I mean, we've got that side covered, so let's copy this. We'll tell it to copy the station names, and all the rest of that we can leave as is. And then we'll pick all that up. I think I have enough inventory to hold it all. Grab that, and grab that. Okay. And I messed up because now I don't know how much room I need. Let's count. We need 1, 2. I think that's 4 tiles. So that's 6, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 19 tiles from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, how many is that? That's 15. I think that's 20. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put it... yeah, we'll put it right there. That should leave us enough room. Okay. And now let's take all of this and turn that. We need to put that right there. I'm going to have to move that signal. Let's see, how are my roboports going to line up? Not exactly. So do I want to line up the factories or the roboports? Line up the roboports. Okay. let's fix the rail. And let's, yeah, you know, let's move these roboports over by one. Hate to do that, but not a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal. Everything's offset. I don't like that. I want it lined up top and bottom. Love those robots. Makes it so easy. Okay. All right, so now the factories are lined up top and bottom. The chests are inverted, but that's okay. That gives us some balance. Let's move these roboports again. So we get those lined up. All right, and then all of our aesthetically sensitive brain cells will be firing joyfully. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, and then I want to move this to the inside so that it will be more centrally located between the two sides. And that means that, let's see, are my roboports getting... Yeah, that means we can move it one tile closer. I'm still going to have to put power poles here to power the roboports. And in fact, I have to do the same on the other side. So we're going to have to move this one more time. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Fortunately, it doesn't take too long to relocate these things. Okay, and then get another blueprint of that side. And one space. Okay, looks good. And then now in this case, I can get rid of these power poles because these are going to take care of the inserters. And then we can put the lights in the middle. Okay, so over here we need providers. This is for the coal. Well, actually I can't put lights in the middle, so we'll just put one on each side. There we go. And finally we need some power. Okay, Now that is a very nice looking factory making, or plastic making factory, excuse me. Okay, now we just need to get the petroleum piped in. So we'll do that one there, and we'll do this one here. Actually, let's do this over here on this side of the track so I don't have to add, I don't want to add segments. Just to get over the tracks. At least not too much. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right, so that one is flowing, and that one is flowing. And hopefully these two pipes will be enough. All right, so now we just need some coal. So let's head back to the main base and deploy a coal train. A coal train is one of my favorite things. I need to get some signals on that return line as well. So we'll do that when we come back. Oh, and we need bots. So let me request. I'll get 350. Like we often do. Okay. So we need one locomotive and 4 wagons. And we'll deploy it here. All right. Okay, my other coal train, whoops. My other coal train is here at the base. So I'm just going to copy paste that so I get the right color. And then this is going to go from coal 2 until full to plastic coal until empty. Off you go. Did I get my bots? Yes, I did. Okay, let's go back and wait for that to arrive, and we'll check and make sure everything is working properly. Looks like our stream of copper is starting to run low. Well, it says we still got 4 hours, but I know that last hour or two is going to be fairly lean, so I think we'll need to get another copper outpost going here. Actually, I have another copper outpost, don't I? Yeah, I do. I'll just need to start bringing copper to the main base. Okay, let's put in... I'll start with 200 bots, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, yeah, and I need to put signals on the return line. Okay. Everything is green. or yellow. Why is it yellow? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we definitely need more bots. I don't want it to be yellow, and they're just going yellow because they're filling up too fast. Okay, that's better. And all the coal is gone. Nearly gone. That means we're going to need coal coming in here pretty fast. Okay, but with 350 bots, everything is looking good. Everything's mostly green. It looks like we're not having any trouble getting the petroleum in fast enough, which is something I was a little bit concerned about. But it looks like 2 pipes coming in here with a single pump on each is fast enough, which is great. Okay. Yeah, and actually the delivery of that train is a little bit late, so I think once we get a second train in the loop, we should be bringing in coal fast enough. That looks pretty good. Okay. Cool. So let's just finish signaling here. Actually, let's just go ahead and bring that all the way forward. And another one there. And those all have chain signals already. And then we just need some more standard signals over here on this side. So I'll put one about there, and then we'll put one at each power pole on the way out. That way we can have multiple trains stacking up on the exit if they need to. There. Okay. Well, that looks good. So plastic is sorted. I'm pretty happy with this setup. I like the layout here. I really like the layout here. I think splitting this up into multiple smaller units is a good idea. I mean, it was fairly easy to set up that way, and then it also allows us to split up the delivery of fluids to each one of those sections fairly easily to make sure that we have plenty of throughput in the piping. Yeah, with 350 bots, looks like that's more than enough. Actually, I can see now that we've got over 100 that are idle. You know, but that's okay. I mean, in the long run, bots are relatively cheap. I'd rather have too many than not enough. So I'm going to leave all 350 there. They seem to be doing a great job so far. Okay, so that'll continue to run until these chests fill up, or nearly so. Let's take a look here. Yep, they're going very fast. Getting that productivity. Again, I think the inserter choices were good ones. With the blue on the input for the coal, everything's running good, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so next we'll fix a few of those issues that I pointed out earlier. We'll get sulfuric acid and lubricant producing, and we'll continue to scale up from there. So I will see you again this weekend. Appreciate your patience while you wait for me to get back from my business trip, and I'll see you all soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.